The country is in mourning over the passing of eNCA veteran Mbulelo Musi. He belonged to a generation that was willing to sacrifice their lives for freedom. He'll go down in history as having been one of the Matola raid survivors. That Matola massacre took place on the 30th of January in 1981 in Mozambique. To discuss this further, I'm joined now by Dan Hatto, who's a convener of the eNCA Liberation War Veterans. Dan, good afternoon. Welcome to today. Our condolences to the eNCA Liberation War veterans, as I know, of course, that Mbulelo was also very active in this formation. How are you guys managing?
Good afternoon, Braden, and good afternoon to the listeners. Thank you very much for the condolences, Braden. We do need them. We are trying our best, Braden, together with the family. As I'm speaking to you, I'm just outside the residence of Comrade Mbulelo Musi. I've left the family whilst they're still trying to discuss and complete the arrangements for the funeral. It's not easy, Braden. As people would know, our structure, eNCA Liberation War Veterans, is just a year old as of next month. So you can imagine a caliber of our National Commissar, Comrade Mbulelo, who had all the vision as to what is it that we're supposed to be doing as this new structure of eNCA Liberation War Veterans in our 24 months that has been given to us after the East London Conference. It's not easy, Braden. It's quite really a difficult time for us and the Musi family.
Yeah, I mean, just to remind our viewers, one of the Xhosas 4, that infamous case of the killing of the Xhosas 4 in the 80s, one of those victims was his brother, who died later of the injuries sustained in that attack. But Mbulelo himself survived the Matola massacre of January 1981. And I see in its statement, the ANC recognizes this, saying that history will record that he was one of the survivors of the Matola massacre.
Yes, Comrade Braden. Comrade Mbulelo was the survivor of the Matola massacre. As recently, he had visited Mozambique to commemorate the massacre itself. Comrade Mbulelo was that type of a person. He never forgot the history. He never forgot where we're coming from. It was not only the Matola massacre. Comrade Mbulelo, with his ill health, in December, he traveled all the way to Lesotho to commemorate those who were killed by the apartheid regime in Lesotho when they attacked ANC houses and Basotho houses. So Comrade Mbulelo is that epitome. He's that cadre of the ANC who was so brave for his stature that, when you look at him, you would never think that this is a person who stood his ground even when the ANC had problems in Angola. I'm talking about Mkatashinga. Gordon Mbulelo stood his ground and asked the leadership, can you please listen to this comrade? They might be doing what they are doing in an anarchic way, but they might have a point. So we're talking about that cadre who was so groomed, who knew what it means to be an ANC cadre, what it means to be an eNCA combatant. Even in his last days, when he was in his deathbed, Comrade Mbulelo continued writing on behalf of eNCA military veterans who are today are seen as nobodies. That is the type of a cadre, Braden, we are talking about here. A brave man indeed.
Yeah, tragically, as you say, there are now those people who contributed like him to our freedom are seen as nobodies. But I also saw, and I know this, Dan, because I interviewed Mbulelo several times here on eNCA, once when he was recalling his experience during the Matola massacre of January 1981 in Mozambique, but also when he was with the Department of Military Veterans that was started. So he did have a short-lived but distinguished career as well in assuming a number of different responsibilities after the dawn of democracy.
That's true, Braden. Comrade Mbulelo has worked in many government departments. He's been a spokesperson for so many government departments. He worked with the likes of the late Comrade Jesse Duarte. He worked with the likes of the late Comrade Zola Squia. He worked at the Department of Military Veterans. He did quite a lot in his young life, as you said, Braden. And his last wish was for him to see MK military veterans being recognized as other military veterans are recognized in other countries. Comrade Mbulelo, in his time when he was sick, he insisted that he should attend our meetings. We were with him in the national conference of the ANC in December. We were with him during the Lekgotla in January, and he made positive contributions on behalf of the combatants of MK. Comrade Mbulelo stood his ground in what he believed in, and he would argue out his case if really you're bringing facts in the argument, and he feels that your facts are genuine, he will tell you so. But if he's not convinced with what you are arguing, Comrade Mbulelo was quick to say, no, this is how it is supposed to be.
Yeah,
we have lost a commissar again.
Yes, as we conclude, and if you may, very briefly, how do you wish, as the Veterans Association, as the MK Liberation War veterans, how do you wish the country to remember and honor and pay tribute to Mbulelo Musi?
We wish, Comrade Dan, those people who were multiplied by Comrade Mbulelo, because Comrade Mbulelo multiplied himself as a commissar. Quite a number of commissars were at his place today to come and pay respect to Comrade Mbulelo. We have requested the provincial government to, if possible, give him a befitting farewell by declaring the funeral of Comrade Mbulelo a provincial funeral. We are waiting for that response from the Premier of Gauteng. And there are quite a number of other initiatives that we're going to be taking, Braden, to go and talk to the provincial government and, if needs be, to national government, because we believe this is a hero who lived true to his word, who spent all his life in the trenches struggling for the people of South Africa.
Thank you.
So we would want South Africans to remember this hero as the hero that really brought the freedom of this country.
Dan Hatto, thank you very much. Please convey our condolences to the family as well, to the Musi family. As Dan Hatto is a convener of the MK Liberation War veterans. One thing I know and I've heard about Mbulelo Musi, he was hoping he will not die before he's seen justice being served in the Cosas 4 case. I mean, his brother Zandisile Musi was one of those Cosas 4 who was severely injured and later died of his wounds. And that case is still very much in our courts today. May his soul rest in peace.